What if I told you that the one thing your doctor keeps pushing you to eat more of is not the most powerful thing for your colon health? What if the real answer has been sitting in your kitchen this whole time and it costs less than $1? Stay with me until the end, because what I'm about to share with you is backed by real science, real people, and real results. And no, I'm not selling you anything. Not a supplement, not a detox kit, nothing. This is just the truth that most health channels are too scared to say out loud. Let me ask you something personal. Do you wake up in the morning feeling heavy, bloated, like your stomach is carrying a brick that just won't move? Do you sit in the bathroom waiting, and nothing happens the way it should? Or maybe it does wake up in the morning feeling still heavy, feeling complete, bloated, sluggish, like your stomach is carrying a brick inside you that just won't let go. Do you sit in the bathroom waiting, familiar, you are not alone, and nothing happens the way it should? Million Americans suffer. Or maybe it does happen, but you still feel incomplete. 63 million people, like something is stuck inside you. That number doesn't even count the millions more dealing with bloating, sluggish digestion, and colon discomfort that never gets reported because people are too embarrassed to talk about a typo. And what does almost every doctor and every dietitian, number doesn't even count the millions more dealing with bloating, sluggish digestion, and colon discomfort that never gets reported? Buy these fiber gummies because people are too embarrassed to talk about it. Like cardboard. And what does almost every doctor, every dietitian, every health article on Google tell you? They follow the advice. They take a fiber supplement. Buy the psyllium husk bloated. Buy these fiber gummies. Backed up. Buy this high fiber cereal that tastes like uncomfortable every single morning. Here's the frustrating part. So if fiber is supposed to be the answer, eat their fiber. Why are so many people still suffering supplements? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Here's the point almost no one talks about. Fiber is not bad. Let me be completely clear about that. Fiber is genuinely good for you, but fiber alone, without the right internal environment, is like throwing a sponge into a dry pipe. It doesn't move, it doesn't flush. It just sits there and makes things worse. Your colon is not just a tube. It's a living, active organ. It has its own muscular rhythm. Doctors call it peristalsis. And that rhythm depends on one thing more than anything else: hydration and motility signals. Think of your colon. It's a living, long water slide at a theme park. It has its own muscular rhythm. That's your fiber intake. Doctors call it peristalsis. But if there's no water flowing through that rhythm, depends on one thing more than anything else. No matter how perfectly designed hydration and motility signals, that water rushing through. Think of your colon like a long water slide at a theme park. That water itself, that flow, fiber intake, is what the right morning drink provides. If there's no water flowing through the slide, and the reason most people never feel fully flushed, fully clean, fully light in the morning, without that water, is because they wake up dehydrated. They drink coffee immediately, which is mildly diuretic, and their colon never gets the specific what the right morning drink provides to activate properly. And the reason most people never feel fully flushed, fully clean, fixing this does not require a prescription, is because they wake up dehydrated. They drink coffee immediately, which is mildly diuretic, and their colon never gets the specific of three things you almost certainly already have in your kitchen. Here's the incredible part: the timing of when you drink it does not require that changes everything. It does not require a dietitian visit, because I'm going to give you the full recipe, and it requires a specific combination of three things you almost certainly already have. Let me tell you about Margaret. Margaret is a 54-year-old school administrator from Columbus, Ohio. She had been constipated on and off for nearly 11 years. She'd tried every fiber supplement on the market. She'd done cleanses. She'd cut out dairy. She'd added more vegetables. She'd even gone gluten-free for 6 months based on advice from a friend. Nothing gave her consistent relief. She described her mornings like this: I'd wake up and my stomach would feel like a closed fist. She'd added more vegetables, uncomfortable. She'd even gone gluten-free for 6 months based on advice from a friend. This was just how my body worked. Nothing gave her consistent relief. Then she described her mornings like this: morning drink protocol. I'd wake up, my stomach would feel like a closed fist. She dismissed it tight. She tried it for 1 week. By day 3, I just learned to live with it. The difference. I thought this was just how my body worked. And I'm paraphrasing. Then she came across like a simple morning drink, like her body finally exhaled. Something so basic, she lost 4 pounds of water weight. She tried it for that first week alone. Her energy went up. Her stomach softened. And for the first time in over a decade, she felt, as she put it, genuinely clean inside. Now I want to be very clear. Margaret is not a miracle story. Her results are not guaranteed for everyone. But her experience is not unusual, because the science behind what she did is well established and has been studied repeatedly. And I'll show you exactly what she did in just a moment. But here's what makes this so frustrating, and honestly a little bit maddening. The reason most people never discover this comes down to one word: marketing. The fiber industry in the United States is worth over $4 billion. That is a massive economic machine. And it runs on one message: eat more fiber, buy more fiber, supplement with fiber. Now again, fiber is not the enemy. Please hear that clearly. But when the entire conversation is controlled by a $4 billion industry, certain inconvenient truths get drowned out. Truths like fiber without adequate water and motility signals can actually worsen constipation and bloating. When the entire conversation is controlled by a $4 billion industry, to specific temperature, osmotic pressure, and natural compounds that most people are completely fiber without adequate water and motility signals can actually worsen constipation and bloating activation is a 20 to 30 minute window right after you wake up. To specific temperature, what you put in your body during natural compounds determines how your entire digestive system performs for the rest of the day. If you miss that window, or worse, if you fill it with the wrong things, you're essentially starting your day with your colon in sleep mode. And a colon in sleep mode means bloating, heaviness, low energy, brain fog, poor nutrient absorption. And over months and years, a compounding burden on your digestive health that is very real, very measurable, and very preventable. So let's talk about the drink. And before I give you the recipe, I want to explain the science simply. And over months and years, because when you understand why this works, you'll never forget it. It is very real, you'll actually do it consistently instead of trying it once. So let's talk about the drink. Your colon. And before I give you the recipe, primary signals in the morning, I want to explain the science. Signal number one is warmth. Because when you understand why this works, you'll never forget it. That muscular wave, you'll actually do it consistently instead of more effectively than cold liquids. This is why warm water first thing in the morning has been used in traditional medicine systems across Asia and the Middle East for literally thousands of years. That modern gastroenterology research supports this more effectively than cold. A study in the Journal of Neurogastroenterology. This is why warm water first thing in the morning has been used in traditional medicine systems across Asia associated with faster colonic for literally thousands of years. Faster transit. Modern gastroenterology research supports this. A study in the Journal of Neurogastroenterology and Motility. Signal number two: that warm liquid intake is associated with faster colonic transit that is partly faster transit and partly less time for waste to harden. It responds to concentration means easier, more complete elimination. You add certain natural compounds to water. You create a gentle osmotic pull that draws fluid into the colon and makes elimination dramatically easier and more complete. This is not a laxative effect. It's a natural physiological response that your body is already designed for. You're just giving it the right trigger. Signal number three is a natural compound called pectin, combined with organic acids. These two things together soften waste, feed beneficial bacteria in your gut microbiome, and lubricate the colon wall in a way that fiber alone cannot do. Now, here is where it all comes together. These two things together that activates all three of these signals simultaneously bacteria in your gut microbiome, 1 cup of warm water, lubricate the colon wall in a way that fiber alone cannot do. Think just slightly above body temperature. Here is where it all comes together. The juice of half a fresh lemon. Morning drink that activates all three of these signals simultaneously is this, in a specific form of warm water in its pulp. Not boiling, not cold, triggers bile production in the liver. Think just one of the most powerful natural colon stimulants your body produces. Half a fresh lemon. 1 teaspoon of raw lemon juice is naturally high in citric acid, in a specific form of pectin. Honey contains natural enzymes, triggers bile production in the liver, which is one of the most powerful natural colon stimulants your body produces. Processed honey has most of these removed, and optionally, a small pinch of pink Himalayan salt contains natural enzymes, small amounts of prebiotics. This adds trace minerals and slightly increases the osmotic activity of the drink, microbiome, enhancing that natural drawing effect in the colon. That's it. 4 ingredients: warm water, lemon, raw honey, optional pinch of salt, and the timing. This is the part that changes everything. You drink this first thing in the morning. Before coffee, before food, before your phone. Before anything else, you drink it slowly, over about 5 minutes while standing or sitting upright, and then you give it 15 to 20 minutes. That's it. That is the protocol. Let me tell you about one more person. Before anything else, is a 47 slowly, logistics over about 5 minutes while standing or sitting upright. David didn't have severe constipation. You give it 15 to 20 minutes. He had what he described as the morning wall. That is the protocol. Every morning he felt foggy. Let me tell you about one more person. Slightly David nauseous. Is a 47-year-old. It would take him until 10 or 11 a.m. to feel like himself. He'd tried morning workouts, didn't have cold showers, different sleep schedules. He had what he described. He'd read about gut health wall. Tried 3 different every morning. He felt foggy, 2 years, slow. When he added this morning drink protocol, it would take him until 10 or 11 a.m. to feel like himself. Within 5 days, his morning fog began to lift faster. His bathroom routine became dramatically more regular and complete. He reported feeling, and again, I'm paraphrasing, like his body was actually waking up instead of just going through the motions. After 3 weeks, he said something that stuck with me. I didn't realize how much energy my body was spending every day just trying to deal with a sluggish gut. When that cleared up, it was like getting a couple of hours of my day back. David is not a doctor. His experience is anecdotal. But the physiological explanation for what he experienced is completely consistent with what we know about gut-brain connection, digestive energy expenditure, and colon health. When your colon is functioning optimally, when elimination is complete and regular, your body redirects resources away from digestive strain and toward mental clarity, physical energy, and immune function. This is not alternative medicine. This is basic physiology. Now I want to give you some important warnings. because I care about your health and I don't want you to misuse this information. Warning number 1. This drink is not a replacement for medical care. If you have chronic digestive issues, blood in your stool, severe abdominal pain, or any symptoms that concern you, please see a doctor. What I'm sharing today is educational and supportive, not diagnostic. Warning number 2. Lemon juice is acidic. If you have active acid reflux, GERD, or known esophageal sensitivity, speak with your healthcare provider before making this part of your routine. You may need to dilute the lemon more or modify the recipe. Warning number 3. Honey is not appropriate for infants under 12 months old. If you're making this for children, leave the honey out entirely. Warning number 4. Do not replace your fiber intake with this drink. Your body still needs dietary fiber from vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains. This drink is designed to work with your nutrition, not instead of it. And warning number 5, and this one is important, do not overdo it thinking more is better. 1 cup per morning is the protocol. Drinking large amounts of lemon water can affect tooth enamel over time and alter your body's acid-base balance if taken in extreme quantities. 1 cup every morning. First thing, before anything else, that's the protocol. Drinking large amounts of lemon water can affect tooth enamel over time. Now let's talk about the enemies of your colon health, taken in extreme things that quietly sabotage your gut every single day without you realizing. First thing, before enemy number 1 is chronic dehydration. Simple, safe, most Americans are mildly dehydrated almost constantly. Now let's talk about the enemies of your colon health, but enough that things that quietly sabotage your gut struggling to maintain proper moisture levels for waste movement. Enemy number 1, your colon reabsorbs water from waste material, and when you're dehydrated, it pulls even more water back, making stool harder and slower to move. The simple act of hydrating first thing in the morning, before caffeine, before food, breaks this cycle. Enemy number 2 is morning coffee on an empty colon. Coffee does stimulate the colon for some people, but for many others, especially those who drink it black and immediately, the acidity and diuretic effect actually compounds dehydration and causes cramping rather than clean elimination. Coffee does stimulate the colon for some people, drinking coffee, but for many others, it means drink your morning colon drink first and immediately. 15 to 20 minutes. The acidity and the diuretic effect actually compounds enemy number 3 dehydration, ultra-processed causes cramping rather than clean. If the first solid food you put in your body every morning is a processed cereal, it means drink your morning colon drink first, or anything that is primarily white flour and have your added sugar. Enemy number 3, inflammation, ultra-processed breakfast food, disrupting your microbiome. If the first solid food you put in your body every morning is processed cereal, a granola bar, a frozen waffle, processed breakfast, or anything that is primarily white flour and added sugar, after construction finished. You are feeding inflammation. Enemy number 4 is prolonged sitting, disrupting your microbiome's morning recovery cycle. Colon is positioned. Your gut bacteria do most of the lying flat for hours, followed by immediately sitting in a chair. Is like a demolition compressive environment that slows colonic activity. A short 5 to 10 minute morning walk, even just around your home, combined with the morning drink, creates a powerful activation signal for your digestive system. Protect yourself from these 4 enemies, and you'll amplify everything the morning drink is doing for you. Before I close, I want to address something directly. Some of you watching this are going to be skeptical, and honestly, good. Skepticism is healthy. You should question what you hear, especially online and especially about health. So let me be clear about what this video is and is not. This is not a cure. This is not a medical treatment. This is not guaranteed to solve every digestive issue for every person. What this is an evidence-informed, low-risk, accessible morning habit that supports colon function through well-understood physiological mechanisms. The ingredients are real food. The science behind warm water, lemon, osmotic pressure, and bile stimulation is published and peer-reviewed. The protocol is safe for the vast majority of healthy adults. If you try this for 2 weeks and it helps you, fantastic. The science behind warm water, body is different, lemon, that's okay. Osmotic pressure, and but there is virtually no downside to trying it, and potentially significant upside. The protocol is safe for the vast majority of healthy adults. This video was created for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a doctor. Your body is nothing in this video should be taken as medical advice. But there is virtually no downside. Always consult a qualified potentially significant upside before making changes to your diet or health routine. This video was created for educational and entertainment purposes only. Individual results vary, so here is your action step. Right now, today. Before you go to bed tonight, put a lemon in your refrigerator. Put your kettle or pot where you'll see it in the morning. Make the decision right now that tomorrow morning, before your coffee, before your phone, before anything, you are going to make this drink. Warm water, half a lemon, 1 teaspoon of raw honey, optional pinch of sea salt, drink it slowly, give it 15 minutes, and pay attention to how your body responds. Do this for 7 days and tell me right here in the comments what you noticed. And if you're watching this and you know someone who wakes up bloated, someone who struggles every morning, someone who has tried everything and still doesn't feel right, share this video with them. You might be giving them the most useful thing anyone has given them in years. That's why I make these videos. Not for the views. For that one person who needed to hear this today. If this helped you, hit that like button It genuinely helps more people find this information. And subscribe if you want more science-backed, no-nonsense content about gut health, energy, and feeling genuinely well in your body. And in the next video, I'm going to show you the 3 breakfast foods that gastroenterologists say are silently destroying your gut lining. And most people eat at least one of them every single morning without realizing it. You won't want to miss that one. Take care of your gut. It will take care of you.